What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Jake here. Today we're going to be doing a in-depth look at the brand new Hori Farm Vehicle Control Pack. Comparing that with the Logitech Heavy Equipment Bundle, I want to show you guys how to put it together, get it installed, get it in game. It is fairly simple. It is really just plug and play at the end of the day. With a few caveats, and we'll go over that in today's video, so stick around and we'll get right into it. First things first, guys, we're going to be taking a look at the joysticks and comparing the two. I'll show you how to put together the Hori control panel here, get that ready, and get it plugged into your system. We'll plug everything in off camera just because it is a little bit easier to do, at least for me, because of where my PC is hooked up. But we will be comparing the side panel, which is from Logitech and has been out for a number of years. And then we're going to compare the wheel, both wheels and both sets of pedals. So, jumping right into it here, first things first, you guys. Y'all have seen this for years. I'm going to bring this out over into the camera just a little bit more. This panel here, all of the numerous buttons here. Now, this was great. This had its time. This had its place. What I don't like about it is how bulky it is. I got it because I like playing with the peripherals. I did enjoy having it the times that I have used it, but at the end of the day, it does just feel cheap. Kind of misleading, where you expect these to be toggle switches, and they're not toggle switches. It is an all plastic design. The joystick is small, kind of awkward to maneuver and handle. So we're getting rid of this. This is going away. And we probably won't be using it again. Maybe if we want to do some forestry and we need another joystick, we will be using that here. So we're getting rid of that. Now let's move on to the brand new Hori. I gotta step and put stuff down, get it out of the way so we can work here. So if you see me dip out, it's just because I'm moving stuff. So the Hori, this joystick is absolutely fantastic. What I love about it, first of all, it plugs in with a USB-B, not a C cable, but USB. You want to plug this directly into your computer. That's per the manufacturer. They say you should definitely not use a USB extender because it may not work the way it's supposed to work. But there it is, regular USB. Plug that into your computer. Now we're getting down into the joystick. It's very, very realistic as to what you're going to see inside a tractor. Throttle, forward and reverse. This is a setting that you will have to change in the game to be able to use this throttle the way it's intended. And I can show you guys how to do that in a later video if you want to get really in depth even more. Now, looking here, the plastic here is slightly textured. I do love the design here on the throttle. I'm going to try and get it up close. It has these screws. They aren't real screws, but they look authentic. They look real. On that joystick, you have 4 buttons, 17 through 20 there. With the buttons, the buttons have a texture to them. Like, they don't feel like the shiny plastic like you saw on the Logitech side panel. Buttons are textured. The wheel has a nice texture to it. Good roll. This is your cruise control. Set your cruise control. That is a button there. Only thing that I would say with these is the buttons are a little loud. Other than that, I mean, everything's great. It is like nice to have this row of buttons here. These are quieter. It's mainly the big blue ones, basically 4 through 10, that I notice the loudness of the buttons. But you have and all these buttons can be programmed to do what you want to do. Now, you have buttons all the way up to 39, basically 17 or 11 through 39 here. But then if you hit mode, which is nice because it's right in the center there, and you've now doubled the amount of buttons on the joystick. Joystick is very nicely textured here on the back. You have twisting motion here, and you can go a full 360 degrees. You can program the 2 buttons here on the back to do certain things as well. Now, what I would say about this is it does take up a lot of real estate. That would be the only drawback, is it's going to take up a lot of real estate on top of your desk. That being said, that for me is the only drawback that I can see about this. Alright, so now you get it, you're looking at it, you're ready to put it together. It comes in the box, everything's in pieces. So, one thing to make note of is you are going to get 2 packs of long screws. Okay, you do need to pay attention, because what I noticed is there are different size screws. You have your base here. Alright, screws are going to go in and up. A little tight in there for this guy. Twist that screw through there. And this is going to be the same on the steering wheel. You kind of have to thread, at least on this guy here, you had to kind of thread them in there. Now, nice thing is they basically tell you how to put it together. We're going to snap this right into the base there, and we're going to start tightening down on the screws. Nice thing is if you wanted to mount this on a steering wheel mount, you most certainly could, though you do have to use a specific set of screws. And in the box, in the directions, they do tell you what those screws are. I am drawing a blank on that right now. Tighten them. Just a simple hand tightening should do the trick. That doesn't seem right, so it should be snug in there. It should fit perfectly. I'm going to just loosen this up a little bit, see if I can't get that seated in there better. Nice thing is if you need to, you can definitely take it apart to transport it, so it's not going to take up a whole lot of room that way. If you have to move, you don't want to. Okay, there we go. And now we're just going to push that back in there nice and flush. So comparatively to the Logitech side panel, this, in my opinion, is the better choice to go. I know a lot of people are asking how it compares to the Thrustmaster Sim Task. That I can't speak to, just because I have not tested that guy out. Now, the other thing you're going to need to do is you get this threaded bolt. This guy just pops right off. Thread him on in there. Snap that guy back on top of that ball there. There you go. Heard it snap. That's it. That's ready to go. You're ready to plug and play right there. Not really plug and play. There's a few extra steps you're going to have to take. And that is per the manufacturer. So before I get this all hooked up, just because of the amount of real estate that it takes up, I am going to go ahead, grab the steering wheels, and I will be right back. Alrighty, so we got the wheels here. We're going to go ahead and start with the Logitech wheel. Once again, it's an all plastic design, and I'm going to move this guy down for the time being. An all plastic design, and once again, if you look at it, it sits out from your desk a good bit. That's gonna kind of force you back away from your desk. But for what it is, I think it is a really great design. My only conniption, really, and with the side panel, is the fact that the cables come out the side. With the steering wheel on the Hori and the Hori side panel, everything comes out the back. So you don't have any bumping or anything like that would be possible. Having to rearrange so that your wires aren't crossed, or you can, it was a hassle. We'll put it that way. Cable management is something like, for me, a neat, organized cable management is chef's kiss. A good cable management system is necessary. But yeah, plastic design and small. In my opinion, like, it had its day. Time to move on. Now, my new favorite toy. This guy, full-sized, rubberized wheel. So it literally feels like the wheel in my car. You've got grips on the back of the wheel, top, your sides here. You have the knob here that doesn't squeak. I think that was something that, like, Logitech tried to implement, and the wheel ended up squeaking. I can remember recording videos and thinking, why is my wheel? Why is it squeaking? And here it was the little spinner knob, and I like having that spinner knob because then it keeps my other hand free to do what I need to do. All the buttons here, joysticks, really good feeling. You got your horn button there in the center. Now this is something I think is absolutely top notch. The turn signal. You can go left or right, up or down. And on here, you have the option for buttons 14 and 15 on the wheel here to use it for your light control. Left or right, turn your lights on or off. Once again, this guy, I can grab the cable here, is going to be USB. Plug it directly into your computer, not into a USB extender, anything like that. Once again, there are mounting holes for you to be able to mount it to a wheelbase, should you choose to. Once again, guys, on the screws, we're going to pay attention here to the screws, because there are certain screws, at least from my experience. You just slap that guy in there. These guys go down in, and you literally twist, hand tighten them. You don't want to apply too much pressure there. Granted, everything is plastic. Once again, on this, it's not like, to me, like, it doesn't feel like cheap plastic. None of the buttons feel like cheap plastic. You get a full 900 degrees of rotation out of the wheel. That is something you can adjust. If you only want to get, 360 degrees, you can adjust that in Hori's app, which, when you first get this, you want to download and plug the wheel in first, install that firmware, then go ahead and plug the joystick in. Things that I really love about this is the fact that it is able to get up nice and tight to the desk. Both pieces are. My only conniption, if you will, is the fact that both pieces do take up a ton of real estate on your desk. So if you have other peripherals and things like that, you may want to consider getting a bigger desk. It's the only thing I'd say. But as far as the quality, build quality, on both of these pieces, absolutely fantastic. Construction is solid. If I had to compare this setup with the Logitech heavy equipment bundle, this blows that out of the water. Thrustmaster, like I said, I can't speak to Thrustmaster because I have not tried any of their products. But I would say if there's two competitors out there, it would probably be the Hori and Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster has a great system going on, but for me, this makes sense for me and my play style. So, for those of you that are wondering, I think which is better. I think it's just a matter of you finding what suits your play style better. I love the realistic nature of the Hori steering wheel. The fact that it is full size, it doesn't feel like a toy at the end of the day. Time will tell. Now, everything does have Hall sensors, which, for those of you that don't understand that, Hall sensors basically use magnets instead of electronic signals to track movement. So you're going to get a little bit more longevity, in theory, out of joysticks, controllers that use Hall sensors, because there's not an electric current going through to track where your movement is. So it uses that magnetic, those magnets to kind of track that down. Up next, guys, we are going to go ahead and pull up on the pedals. Now we got the pedals here. This is the Logitech Heavy Equipment Bundle pedals. Very all plastic design. Does have this little tray that kind of folds out. I found this to be really super light and just sliding everywhere. Now I have carpet down, so that went into it a little bit. Pedals are plastic, and of course you only have two. And the cable, if I can grab that here, was removable on both ends. I do know some folks had issues with the cable on the Logitech going bad and going out on them. I kind of never had that problem myself. So, yeah, there's that. Like I said, it's a very boring kind of thing to talk about pedals, but hey, might as well do it for the full experience. Now, our big boy here, these are full size pedals, which is fantastic. You have a metal faceplate on all of them. It looks like you can even swap those out. I probably wouldn't do that, but you could. There is some resistance, especially on the brake, which is nice. You have your clutch, your accelerator, but the pressure that's there feels very realistic. And there is like a little bumper back here on the brake, so you're not like slamming that thing down and risk breaking something. Very well built design. Once again, you can mount it. There's 3 mounting screws there. The other thing that I really like that they did, cable management. You can run that cable out the back. You can run it left or right, depending on how you have everything set up. For me, I run it out the back. All in all, what I will say is it is a very well built system. If I had to compare the entirety of the Logitech Heavy Equipment Bundle and the Hori Equipment Farm, the Hori Bundle, we'll call it that because it's a lot to say, Farm Vehicle Control Pack. Hori blows it out of the water for me. Comparatively to Thrustmaster, like I said, once again, not going to be able to really speak into that one just because I haven't tried it. But I would say comparatively, it would be comparative to Thrustmaster. And really, I think it's going to come down just to how you want to play. What I will say for the price, Hori is pretty great. If you were to go all in on the Logitech system, you are looking at anywhere between, and that's getting just about every piece of equipment, you are looking at anywhere between $460 to almost $700 at the end of the day. But then again, hey, how much do you want to spend? It's your game, your gameplay. For me, this system, for the price that it's at and everything that you get, is top notch. That's the review. Up next, we will get it into the game. Alrighty, guys. So we got everything hooked up, plugged in. Now, when you get your Hori farming controller wheel and farm controller panel, you are going to have to update these guys to the latest available firmware. We're going to go in here. Here in the wheel, you can set up the rotational. I can choose 360. I can choose 900. I can, and 180. And I don't know the point of doing 180 other than you are very limited in your range as to how far it's going to read. Most people, I probably would leave it at that 900. I don't really see any issues with that in the long run. You can adjust the sensitivity of your pedals here as well. Your clutch, left, and the left pedal is your brake pedal. And as everybody knows, gas pedal is on the right. We can adjust that the sensitivity there on each of those. And if we click on to this guy, there's not many settings on here, inside here, that you're able to actually adjust. Mainly, that's just this joystick, actually. Forgot to screw that guy down in place there. It is only going to be the joystick that you can adjust the sensitivity on if you don't want to have to really force that thing um, forward or back. You can adjust the sensitivity so it reacts a lot quicker than what it is. I have everything left on the standard. Alrighty, guys, so we are now in game here, and we are going to go ahead and head down to options. We're going to head all the way to the bottom here. Here you can adjust the sensitivity a little bit quicker, I think, in game, and a little bit further as well. This is going to be the control panel that's bringing up. And if we go here, see we have all the twisting. And then you also have your other settings here. Where is that? There's the steering wheel. There we go. More sensitivity settings. I have not adjusted any of these in game here. The main thing that I went to was this guy here. Now, what I will say is if you had a previous panel like I did, I had to reset everything so that it mapped everything to the right buttons, because it was still trying to read my Logitech side panel buttons and things like that. But you can go in here and, like I did, I adjusted a good majority of the buttons and controls in here. Now, where I will go ahead and I'm going to plop this guy up for you on Hori's website. Okay, they have mapped all of the buttons here for you. Let me see if I can bring that zoom up here a little bit for you. There we go. So they have mapped all of the buttons here for you, so you can see where everything is, and then they've kind of laid out the functions of those buttons there for you. I went in and I remapped everything myself. Very easy to do, but for the most part, it is plug and play. Alrighty, guys, that's it. That is the full side-by-side comparison / review. Like I said, if I had to pick one or the other over Logitech Hori Thrustmaster, Thrustmaster's out of kind of my scope right now, just because I haven't tried it, and I don't want to be misleading. I love the fact that the pedals have a clutch, not that clutch, but between this and the Logitech, this is a huge winner for me. Just because if I had to do a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going about a 9, just because of how much real estate it takes up on top of your desk. But the win for me there is I can sit closer to my desk, and I'm not as far back as I would be with the Logitech, or even, let's say, the Thrustmaster adjustable base that they are coming out with, or have come out with. Other than that, I mean, it's fairly simple, fairly easy to set up. If you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like. Let me know in the comments what other questions you guys have, and maybe I can answer that in a future video. Till next time, guys, y'all stay safe, and I will catch you in the next one. Jake out.